abusian for your money now, Quava, Sabi a parliament, a why she pa in Yasan Ketua. I just heard the a report and a live video. I just if you obano and yinan ye the barber chemo. As any other quaint and so says own subscribe ya more dance already or best subscribe we are not like it. No, I share among me as we are the inside KBS already. Yen fearing chimney and caddy one chairman. A parliament house a day 2 for their air final sitting and I just say almost the ashes so I just any asking to. The cyber is speaking on a year Akufo the minister just say Akufo the Asmano so umbra parliament and some of the other two jana any asking to. Now was sema a sipa ne say a year can Agyapong just say and things over Kasa parliament house no. Asrejina afaya on one kasan for the ministers in the MPs of more parliament. And yes, and get one. While fire or more pass on me a coward too much. I didn't say more or say I didn't say more mutna ma it like this government me disrespect a bamba bensa. Because policy I go for the asthma a year road minister son Pambrano to an entire woman. It doesn't make sense to him. I just was sorry blasted a year that minister and the on one Kasan Crawford just say become NPP MP some more parliament or some ministers or more. I just was say you a coward too much. I didn't with the other two jano. Niti panel and I win. I answer to we no a Haruna Iddrisu so sorry a second day on the account because also on Tanaho and this government and disrespect about Babin sir. I didn't know Mokasa because as you speak on or more say e moto ke da je sit me di empenifo anim no e akofari se oyi abamba bin di efrim o ma kwan ma abamba bin moto ke din din anim bim e na akofa ye aba parliament house unfortunately no e ye kan Agyapong akojani NDC MPs air fight against a omo akasa nkofo yes already come on nkwiti na hwede ekoso
majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, yes, you have the opportunity. Let him speak first. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, if it pleases you, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong did not catch your eye, but I would pray you that after I've had my bite, you give him an opportunity, or perhaps I saw him up.
I thought then he should speak before you.
That is exactly the point I wanted to
Yes, let me hear him.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to address the House. There are certain things that we do as members.
Honorable member, there is an issue.
Yes.
That is on the floor.
Yes.
I mean, you want to contribute to that?
Yeah, I want to contribute.
But not to address the House.
Yeah, because I use the word address because we become coward and timid. And anything concerning Parliament, my colleagues are even afraid of the public to do the right thing.
But that is not to address the House.
Well, I'm addressing them. This is my last time in Parliament, so I want them.
Honorable member, we are masters.
I'm contributing.
We are masters of our own rules.
Yes.
If you actually want to address the House, you can request. I can create opportunity for you to address the House before you leave.
Under this circumstance, that is why I use the word. But Mr. Speaker, I withdraw that and say that I want to make a contribution. My contribution is to caution my colleagues to be bold for once. Because we've been covered to the public. Anything concerning Parliament, we are afraid of the reaction of the public. And anything the government needs, they will first come to Parliament. For a whole speaker to say that he cannot even enjoy a motorcade. Who is Kennedy Agyapong? Who went to Senate and enjoyed motorcade under President Kufuor's administration? We must be bold and speak the truth. Every money this country needs, it has to go through Parliament. But the society belittles us as if we are what? Servants to them. Although we are servants to them, we also have to enjoy rights. I want you guys to be bold. Members have to be bold. Look, in case there is an emergency, and you need members of parliament from, say, Adenta to come here. So if he enjoys a motorcade, is it a sin? Mr. Speaker, I am speaking for parliament that it is very important institution, and therefore we should not be afraid also to demand opportunities for ourselves. So if they are doing this to the speaker, then who are you? A member of parliament sitting here. And you same people, or we same people, are going to approve this. And ministers, are you saying that ministers are also not important? I have no problem with judges, but they have police. And you tell us that parliamentarians are equivalent to high judges from the high court. You go to their house, you see their cars, they have police. How many of us have police in our cars? And you are waving your hands, you are afraid. Be bold and speak the truth. We also demand that we should be included, if not resign it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we are business. We are business. We have to limit the numbers. I will recognize two more.
Speaker, I labored to catch your eye before you invited the minister to lay the important regulations on road traffic. Speaker, I was doing so for two reasons. One, I have a copy I have perused, even though it's now been laid. And Right Honorable Speaker have been taken off the list of those who can use motor siren. Mr. Speaker, in America, there is never what we call, you avoid a constitutional interregnum. Assuming there is a crisis in Ghana, that a president has to be sworn in, and the speaker has to be taken from somewhere to where he has to swear in the president. By this provision, Mr. Speaker, we are not personalizing it. It's not Honorable Alban Sumana Bagbin. It's the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament. Is not entitled to a motorcade or a police accompanied siren. In my view, Mr. Speaker, is wrong. For the number 3 to be out of this privilege. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana is also out of the motor traffic regulation, not entitled to it. Mr. Speaker, you can keep ministers and members of parliament out. But this republic has 3 important personalities. The president, the vice president, the speaker, and the chief justice. 4 important personalities. And Mr. Speaker, it is not for this house to sit for a minister. Yes, MPs. There will even be times that, Mr. Speaker, leadership is here. When you have to take a major vote, you are looking for a member who is still in his constituency in Kaswa. You want his vote here because you want him to exercise a mandate. That is not abuse of a motorcade or a police siren. So, Mr. Speaker, mine was to arrest the laying of this instrument if I had my way, because the speaker, the lady chief justice, the chief justice of Ghana cannot be left out of this privilege or entitlement of having a police accompany them. What we need to guard against, which is what the public is saying, that the ministers, you are not doing the roads properly, there is congestion on the roads, and you want a free road to ride. That is what the public detests. But, Mr. Speaker, take the office of the speaker, and colleagues, when you talk of an ordinary day, talk of an extraordinary day. Assuming there is crisis in Ghana, the speaker has to be looked for. And Mr. Speaker, I hope I can share this experience with you. You recall when President Mills died. I still recall when then Ben Kumbo, Minister for Attorney General then, had to call on us how we could locate Mrs. Theodora Georgina Wood to get herself ready for Vice President then to be sworn in at 4:05 p.m. We're looking for the Chief Justice at the time. And when she's coming on her way, Mr. Speaker, I use the word constitutional interregnum. Because in America, the president is the only person who can authorize war. Same thing in Ghana here. You don't want a situation where for a minute there is a vacuum in our leadership. So, Mr. Speaker, to deny Right Honorable Speaker a motorcade or a siren and a minister, the minister who is laying this instrument, Honorable Member, you are a minister, you are doing this to the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if it was in Sri Lanka or India, I would have cited the minister for contempt of the Right Honorable Speaker, of his attempt to deny you of this defined privilege. So, Mr. Speaker, let's guard against our privileges and immunities as MPs. It is guaranteed additional rights because of the role we play. So to lay an instrument which denies the Speaker, the Chief Justice, I'm not too sure whether they have included the Vice President, but I'm very certain, Mr. Speaker, they've taken away Speaker, they've taken away Chief Justice. This is untenable, this is wrong, and that minister, warm up. I'll cite you for contempt. Because, Mr. Speaker, this Article 11, once 21 days passes, is law. There's nothing we can do to stop it. So I'm raising this objection for and on behalf of this August House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
First Deputy Speaker.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure what the former minority leader was driving at. Once the document is laid, it becomes the property of this House. If we cannot effect any change, we have the authority to annul it. So there's no need arresting it being laid, because if it's not laid, then Parliament's power over it does not arise. But once it has been laid and referred to the committee, if we want anything changed, we can then insist that either you add or subtract this, or we annul it. For me, what is critical is that we stand together on matters that are important to us. If we have 2/3 majority, means we can annul it. If it's that important to us, it shouldn't be difficult to mobilize 2/3 of us to stand against or to promote what we want to be done. But in the meantime, I think it should be late before it becomes the property of this House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ordinarily I will agree with the first British Speaker, but I want to disagree with him this time. Because, Mr. Speaker, our practice in this House has always been that when we lay instruments, sometimes all of us go to sleep, only to wake up when they have matured already. And, Mr. Speaker, we all know how difficult sometimes to get 2/3 of members, even in the chamber, not alone to vote against an instrument. And the easiest is to make sure that it's not laid, the proper thing get done before you lay it. Since we are unanimous with that, that's the best. Because once you lay it, the days start counting. If you miss the opportunity to arrest it before it matures, it becomes law. And Mr. Speaker, I can't imagine, maybe because of the privilege both myself and the former minority leader have, when we were serving leadership, we knew the investment that Parliament has done to ensure that movement of speaker from one point to another is cured. To now wake up to tell us that all those arrangements should be abolished or should be destroyed or should be withdrawn, I can't imagine that. So, Mr. Speaker, my view is that since we are not in disagreement, let's just get this paper properly done. And I really, even though it's been laid and you've referred it, we are the masters of our own rules. We have not gone far. We can simply get the minister to withdraw it now, go and get the right thing done, come back, and let us lay it. And then when the counting runs out and we even forget to bring the report, and the regulation is going to be implemented. It will be implemented with the changes that the former Honorable Haruna Iddrisu mentioned, the Speaker and the Chief Justice. I mean, I can't imagine we asking them to put away all the investment that has been done in ensuring their movement around. So, Mr. Speaker, I want us to do it right by simply holding on to the referral, or we should resend the laying, get the document properly done before we do it. This can be done now. If the Minister for Transport is around, these few amendments with the ranking on the chair of subsidiary legislation can easily be done and be secured before we lay it. In the next 10 minutes, Mr. Speaker, that can easily be done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ebusianfo yi nyina tie hwede course so eye parliament as dey twa kakra bra just enya asanketo wa hihihie pa NPP MPs for kasai NDC MPs for so yeden ekasai ama ye nyina yeden eti nanso awon asema esi pa ne se eye kan Agyapong mi sorry ko joining NDC MPs fighting against kasa policies such as somebody ebe disrespect abamba bia just enya yeden eti ni nyina awo say na mwankasa motna shishe policy bisi ya mamo mwankasa motna na mo shishe policy bisi ya mamo. How comes it the number 3 of this country mu yini din every a year nkofa mo take it bit medium what if say some important a year meeting be a happy I say ko onu mom ko gine mo parliament ehwe say yintimi implement ya no ko di traffic so vice president ono di yemfa moto kid ndinen president yemfa moto kid ndinen ono no matra ono no make sure say ono mpo na ema the government business yedin itimi koso without abamba bia say a parliament no government business din paji asakre be approve loan cramp no this abamba bia yedin ehye ho or wansa as this is speaker in Canada this is speaker yedin or wansa na se mo mutimi yi ni din film ono to ono no ntiase arches in any breathable. That's the reason why a year can Japan unfortunately got joining NDC MPs ultimately a fight against that police officer. Mama in coward, Mama in no insurance be cano clear actually to me. Arches is ansema or cano a sema and she pa arches heading. It's in now. In when sema a hair in a dress heading a kind of twice at the foreign so cause Monqua American question. Monko America nkoshe this more respect speaker papa yes in HSA a democracy no ye inherited free the Americans omona just a boy a free ye niema and I see rules and the government Ghana no na you see nkofo ye inherited any from more respect speaker how come say mum ye why you say ani mo beyi ni din every moto kidding. Or the example be by and not just say very, very important. I watch you say late Akamil Sebi Ufimono. Na a omuhia speaker in mania Amanaya day. SC a vice president any day a chief of justice. Say biana like or example I mean we say in case of emergency no here speaker and chief of justice. Now say be mo yomudin from my emergency no on fly on your dane you moto kid in the back of no and so some opposite pass this law. That's the reason why I can Japan in your branches I call joining her in Iddrisu in this MP such as my fire a minister ni pa any this government such as it's in now bit my under the comment section I drop your comment be who can unsubscribe ya po more than subscribe higher than 7 8 go baby like it na share ma onya so nsanke bi 100% mu se Akroma.